episode of the Habibis, three game developers drinking good Arab tea. My name is Rami. I'm your host for this episode.
And I'm Osama Darius, your co-host.
And I'm Fawzi, your triple co-host.
One day we're gonna get this right, so that it's not a. I mean, we're kind of out of practice.
Do we have to get it right? I'm
I
kind
mean,
of fine with it.
I guess
Getting it
I
wrong,
guess.
getting it right at this point.
Right. Yeah, I think getting it right will be disappointing.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm always very excited to see what happens when we start.
I was kind of biting my lip, going like, it's been a while since we've done one of these. Is Rami gonna slip? You know?
Oh nope, I did not. I did not. I
You
just
did not.
nailed it.
That
Turns
honor
out if
fell
you
on
do
me.
like 86 of them in a row, you remember some parts. I wouldn't know how to do the outro anymore though. I forgot.
I never knew how to do the outro, so
It's been so long.
it has been.
It has
I miss
been.
y'all.
Yeah. It's been busy. It's been really busy.
You know,
I
life
mean-
takes over, right?
Like
Yep.
this, like I think I had that once on the show as well when I had a game release and I just disappeared for 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's part of like the process of everything leading towards a game launch and spending time with the team and everybody, and then late night reading reviews. You kind of like it takes over for weeks.
Because I guess you did launch a video game.
That's true. Yeah, we have launched a video game. My first game on the Switch, actually. I think we spoke about it on the show once before.
Right,
Or-
but back then you were not a Switch published developer.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And you were not a
Officially.
game designer who worked on a Mario game. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. Yeah, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope came out October 20th.
Mabrouk.
Allah Barik Feek. Thank you
Mabruk.
so much.
Indeed.
Thank you. Yeah, and was being received quite well, it seems, from the community, from the players, from the critics.
I mean, the
Yeah.
one thing I read that really stood out to me is when somebody said it is everything you wanted from the original Mario and Rabbids, but better. Which, that sounds
Wow.
good to me.
I got everything I wanted from the original, so okay, bring it on.
Wow.
I'm gonna be
You-
playing it soon for sure.
You guys
I
haven't
love
had the
original.
chance to play it yet, I
No.
imagine.
So, fun note, I have it downloaded. I'm ready
Uh-huh.
to go. I lost my left Joy-Con.
What?
No,
It's just
What?
gone. I think I
What?
dropped it on an airplane when I stashed it back into my bag, and it's gone.
Wait, you don't have spare Joy-Cons?
I have spare Joy-Cons, but they're all the wrong colors, and I can't deal with it. The problem is my right one is white, and I really like the white one,
Oh, I see.
and I can't bring myself to put the wrong color on.
Okay. I'm
So-
like, at this point, I have like every color almost of
Do you have
the
a spare
Joy-Cons.
white for me?
No, I don't. I have like,
Oh.
I didn't know the white existed. I have all the other colors, not the non-colors.
Right. Wow, brutal.
Yes.
Brutal. Okay, I see how it is. I'll just go back and cry about missing my white Joy-Con.
I might have
No,
gotten
I'm really
lucky
eager to
because
play
I've
it,
never had any other Joy-Cons other than the originals that came with this.
And you have no drift?
No drift.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, you
I have
got no
drift on
drift,
like
baby.
half my Joy-Cons. I have drift on half of them, and I have a whole bunch because we used to play Smash Brothers 8 players. So I have Joy-Cons, and I have like a few of the Pro pads, and I have a whole bunch of things I like to play with.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're in a basket somewhere.
You can pick one up and send it to Rami then.
It's not white; he won't play with it.
It has
That's
to
the
be the
problem.
white ones.
Doesn't work for me. Has
No,
to be
no.
the white one.
I never had the drift. I think you know what? Like the other day, I faced a drift problem with my PS5 control, but
Yeah,
I've never had
apparently
the
it
drift
gets
issue with the
too.
Switch.
Yeah, I have 4 PS5 controllers, and none of them have lucky there. But half of my Joy Cons have drift. You do. Luck of the draw, I guess.
All I know is I just really want my white Joy-Con.
Are they limited edition? Can't order. another
You
one?
can't buy them separately.
Oh no!
They're only the-
the.
Yeah, they're the originals that come with the Nintendo Switch OLED edition.
that's nice.
And they're pretty. They're really pretty. But
Yeah.
it just fell off of my. I think it just must have fallen off of my Switch.
We have
Yeah.
a sad rainbow.
Yep.
Well,
But yeah, I found a bunch on eBay. I ordered them. They're on their way. So
Yeah.
inshallah soon.
I also kind of had a game release last week, kind of in a way.
You did?
I did. I mean, I'm not at Warner Brothers anymore, so it's not like I was sitting there waiting, for the game to release as someone who was like, bug fixes or something in it. But it's still a game that I contributed for almost 5 years. Change that came
Right.
out, and that was really good for it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
apparently, the dev team put me in the game in a lot of different ways as like a Easter eggs. So I'm really
Oh
excited
no.
to explore it.
Where are
Yeah.
you?
What kinds
Yeah.
of ways? Are they like
So
the ones when you're like photoshopped into like different?
apparently they couldn't clear that, but that was planned. I was going to be in one of the Gotham newspapers as a sleeping man.
Oh my god.
That would have been so good.
Yeah, but that one didn't work out. But I am at least one of them that was found so far is Tim Drake, like Robin. I am his history teacher. In an email, he references me and quotes me, which is really cool.
Oh,
Professor Dorius. So I like that very much. And apparently there are a couple more people haven't found yet, so I'm going to be
Okay.
exploring.
Wow.
So I'm super proud of the team for it was it was tough. It was a lot of hard work. It's the hardest game I've ever worked on. Be that it's out.
Wow.
yeah. It must be. Like a very particular moment that like both pride and happy for the team, but kind of
Yeah,
sad that you're not there, but
yeah.
excited that you're doing something else. It's like a whirlwind of emotions.
All the emotions all at once. Absolutely. I would have loved to be there with them, but I'll allow that. But at the
Yeah.
same time, like you said, I started something new. I'm a content designer, the lead content designer at Blizzard,
Ooh.
which a lot of people are confused about. They ask me, wait, what? Are you like Twitch streaming or what's happening?
Yeah.
So I'm actually petitioning to change my title because what they refer to as content there is not. I mean, there are no universal terms across our industry. We know that every studio is slightly different, so you mean the same
Yeah.
thing. But at Blizzard, content incorporates missions and activity, that kind of thing, and quests. So I told them like, I don't mind if you call me lead activity designer or or lead mission designer. I prefer one of those. Even lead quest designer. I prefer one of those than designer. So we'll see. Maybe my title will change. But that's basically what I'm. It's like the bridge between game design and narrative. I work to create fun experiences on the unannounced survival game we roll.
Oh, very cool. You're on the unannounced one.
The announced one that's announced as the unannounced one. Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly. It's channeling the Untitled Goose Game vibe, right?
Oh, that's so funny. It's because I got the code for Diablo 4 beta today, so I was gonna.
That's really cool.
I downloaded it. I'm gonna check it out. So I was wondering if you're on that one, but no,
No, no,
you're
I'm
on
not.
the
Yeah, the other one.
unannounced one. Yeah, I have a bunch of Blizzard games that are now currently installed that I want to play, which is gonna be fun for you.
Yeah,
me talking about them over the next couple of weeks. I got Overwatch 2 downloaded and Diablo 4 downloaded. I haven't had the time to play either just yet, but I am coming.
so
And
I
maybe.
played a ton of Overwatch 2, and I'm really sad to say, I'm very, very sad to say that I love it so much that I might not talk about any other games because that's probably
Wow.
going to play. Like,
Oh
I
boy.
was a huge Overwatch fan. I had, before Overwatch 2 came out, I had over 1,000 hours in the watch. Loved it,
Wow.
loved it, loved it.
That's a
And it
lot of
was
hours.
a lot of hours. It's one of my favorite games. Like, and yeah, like I was hesitant about the changes. Like reading them, I'm like, oh, I'm not sure how this is going to play out. I absolutely love the change. We can talk about it later when it comes to my turn.
Talk about it. No, why not? We're
All
here.
right, I'll jump in. So the main change, the major change. This is of course the release is just the multiplayer aspect of it. So there's going to be PE content that's going to. I haven't played that, so I can't comment on it. But from the released game, the main change is that it changed from a 6 versus 6 game to a 5 versus 5. And the main mode of play removed one tank. So originally there were two support characters, two damage dealers, and like DPS, and two tank characters. Now there's one tank character. That change, basically the biggest gripe that people had with Overwatch in the past is that it was very difficult to break defense. Like there are a lot of characters that had big shields that they would be able to put up, and you spent a lot of time breaking those shields before the action started. Now with one fewer tanks, it's a lot more like combat. It's a lot more action packed, which I was a little hesitant about because I figured, pacing is good. Having like highs and lows, I see that as a good thing. So I was a little hesitant before I tried it, but it ended up being amazing. It's all like you jump straight into the fun part of the game right away. And that didn't take away from it. High adrenaline. And the second change is that on top of that, as if that wasn't enough, the tanks became less defensive. Like they removed shields from some of the tanks that had shield, and they gave them like other defensive ability or utility instead. So, and that, like both of those combined, makes for a much more fast-paced game. They added passives and they added other little things too that do help. Like healers right now, they if move to the side a bit and don't engage in combat, they get passive heal. So they could stay. They're a little tankier as a result. They can stay a little bit more autonomous. They're not relying on the other support, which is great. And the DPS, if they kill someone, they get a little bit of a speed boost, so they could actually chain the kills together and get going faster and faster, rewarding like good play. So that's a decent like positive feedback loop that they added to that specifically to allow people to roll over, which makes for a much more aggressive game, much more action. And it's a change I didn't know I wanted. You know what I mean? Like I was like, it's fine, just give me more characters. I would have been okay with this. And then I tried it. I'm like, no, no, you were right all along. This is a better game. I'm super happy that I've been playing it. Not, I mean, I've had a very busy like last weeks. So when I say I've been playing it nonstop, I haven't played it that much compared to how much I normally play. But I have been playing it exclusively.
Oh, so for like, it seems like a lot of like meta changes, a lot of big game mode changes,
Yeah.
new characters
New
added, if I'm
characters.
not mistaken.
Yeah, there are three new characters. All three are really cool. Like one of them is probably my favorite DPS. All of a sudden, Sojourn. She's really, really, really fast. She has this dash slide type thing that could propel her in the air, and a whole bunch of different ways to damage. It's a lot of fun. Kiriko's amazing. She can like dash through walls and heal people. Cool. I haven't had enough time with Junker Queen. She seems like the bruisier, almost DPS tank. I like her kit so far. She throws a knife that comes back, and she like hollers and makes everything things like that. So she much less defensive, much more aggressive. So like I've been switching to her when damage is called for, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I haven't like I've played her probably the least of the three, but all three fit right in like when you get a new character and it feels like they absolutely belong in the game already. All three of them feel like they're great. Yeah, the new game modes, they removed the loot box system, which I actually liked, and they replaced it with a battle pass, which I don't mind. The battle pass,
Yeah. Okay. That's nice.
yeah. Of course, I'm sure there are legal reasons for that, because banned in so many different.
Yeah.
But I don't mind all of that. That doesn't matter. The gameplay is what I care about, and the game is better.
That's super. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to play the game. I played a lot of Overwatch when it came out, but then like a lot of other games came out, so I like played it for like 2 months, maybe 3 months, and then jumped off and played other games. Never really came back.
It's part of my cyclical games that come back once in a while and then I drop them, like League of Legends, Hearthstone. Like I play them for 2-3 months at a time and then I don't play them for again. So
Mhm.
it's part of that rotation. Like it's not that I've been playing it nonstop since it, but
Yeah.
it's a game I always go back to.
I always liked about Overwatch is that you can just jump in, play a quick game, and you're done.
Yeah,
Like it's a 15 minutes, something like that, tops.
yeah,
You play,
very
you play,
satisfying.
play a match or two, you get satisfied, you leave. Also, like if you don't feel like Twitch shooting gameplay, there's so many different archetypes of characters and ways to support that. Yeah, you can play depending on your mood for the evening, so to say. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And each one is so polished and so robust. Like they could be their own character of a full-fledged game just with their. Such a good game. It's one of my favorite, and I absolutely love the art. It's one of my favorite art styles.
It's timeless. They haven't changed it from the first one much. Like the
No,
graphics looked very similar.
it is. The only thing I will say, the only I think regression that happened is that, and I don't know if it's just my imagination or not, but I feel the sound design took a hit.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, like I don't hear before the audio cues of someone on the other team triggering their alt was so loud and so clear. Now I feel like half the time I don't hear it, and I'm not sure why, if I'm not paying attention to it, or I'm like, what? They ulted? That's how I died? Which never happened in the Overwatch. Old Overwatch, like the footsteps, the mixing, all of that, like it felt like you were always aware to a fault. Like I know friends who have hearing issues who are like, I feel like I'm ill-equipped to play this game. It plays such a big part in giving information. But like now it feels uneven, if that makes sense. Only gripe. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait till I jump in and give it a try.
Can't wait to hear what you think.
Yeah, man.
I think it's free to play now. I think you could anyone can.
Yeah, it's free. I just downloaded it on battle.net.
Excellent.
And it's waiting for me to start playing it. Now it's gonna have to wait a little bit more because I have to play some Diablo.
Yeah.
But then I'll get back to it. Actually, like just on the topic of Blizzard, before I move on, you're moving to Anaheim?
No. I am remote from Montreal. Like that was the deal. I wanted to stay here, so I'm not moving. And it's not Anaheim; they're in Irvine, but close enough. But yeah, I'm gonna stay in Montreal. I'm working. I'm one of the first, if not the first, lead at Blizzard who gets a remote, get remotely. But they've been opening it up. I think this is a direction that anyway. A lot of people a lot of companies that traditionally didn't offer remote roles, I believe.
That's super, man.
Makes sense. I mean, people can pick a lot more. There's enough ask for talent right now, so it's good for everybody.
Exactly. Good for me because I have kids in school. It would be really hard to really know.
But at some point, we'll see your picture with the orc. Then,
at some point, once I fix my many passport issues, thank you, Canada Passport Agency, for making it so hard right now to renew a passport. At some point, I'll be able to go there.
Is it here in Sweden? There was also a similar problem in which people can wait for months until their passport get renewed.
Yeah, I made the mistake.
Just because there was so much demand, I guess.
That's exactly the same situation here. And the wait times were at 2 months, and then they went to 4 months. And every time I'm like, okay, but it'll get better. Because they keep saying, but we're hiring more people. It'll get better. So I kept holding it off. And here I am with a passport expiring extremely. And the wait times are even longer. So I'm like, crap. I should have bit the bullet and done it earlier. So I might be grounded for a little while, Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm trying to get it as quickly as possible, but they're making that really.
Hopefully that will get sorted out soon.
Yeah, because I miss y'all. I want to see y'all.
Yeah,
but that just means you'll have to come here. That's all it means. It's fine.
It might happen too.
I would love that.
I mean, we're not that far from DC at this point.
That's right. Hopefully I could make it to GDC because 4 months until, and booking and everything, it's not a given anymore.
I'm not sure I'm going to GDC.
Oh, what's going on?
What?
PAX.
Oh, it overlaps this year?
It overlaps.
Oh.
And San Francisco is really too expensive to go for 3 days.
That makes sense. Well, I have a GDC talk approved, so
nice.
Of the two, if I'm able to travel, period, it'll be GDC.
I am not sure I'm going, so I didn't submit anything.
No, I wouldn't have thought that it's. They usually like back to back. Why did they overlap this week?
That's actually the second time they've done that, but the amount of game developers that actually need to go to both is a very specific group. So it's not like this is like an impossible situation or anything. It's just for people who do both. PAX is generally the more important one. Because it's consumer facing. So I don't know.
I guess it depends on who doing, right?
Exactly. But if you're going to both, if you normally go to both, you're probably on the consumer facing.
Exactly.
Right?
That makes sense.
So well, who knows? I always have feelings about GDC. Not having to spend $4,000 on San Francisco might not be the worst thing that happened to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's getting tougher and tougher every year. I could totally see your point.
Yeah. And not just that, also the dollar is very expensive right now.
Yeah.
No, it's not like we're getting the euro bonus anymore.
No, that's not the case.
Yeah. Anyway.
In Canada, we don't get any bonus anywhere, so I'm just used to it. That's not actually true. Our dollar's worth more than the Australian dollar, but barely.
Wow.
Yeah.
The things you learned going to Australia.
Right? Everything is just a little cheaper than it looks.
I
Rami,
like
so
that stuff.
Osama started the new job. I've shipped the game. What have you been up to? We haven't
Oh
contacted
God,
you in a
You're on
while.
the spot now.
my gosh. Yeah, no, I didn't start a new job. I let's see what is happening in my life. I've been busy with all sorts work, trying to figure out some projects that I might or might not be working on, trying to figure out how to combine that with family. Want to see my parents and a medium distance relation. Just a whole lot of things happening in the same span of time. I actually haven't gone flying for like this point, which
Yeah, I was expecting to hear some flying adventures actually when I asked this
there
question.
there have been some flying adventures, but they're by now they're quite a while ago. I went flying with my mom. That was really
Mhm.
fun.
Ah, that's
I also
cool.
went flying with my dad.
Ah, how was
I
that?
don't know if I told that story.
No, you haven't. Was he
Okay,
backseat flying? Is that a thing?
no, he it's like the Arabs have a lot of pride, so I don't think he would ever admit that he was quite nervous about the whole thing, but he was
Oh.
clearly quite nervous about the whole thing. Uh, when an Arab gets into when a Muslim gets into a vehicle and their prayer is like longer than 30 seconds,
Yeah.
that I think I could do my entire pre-flight checks in the time he was just saying his prayer. So yeah,
You know, he would be really scared if he like breaks out the masbaha,
yeah,
the
Yes,
rosemary
yep,
beads.
yes, yes.
yep.
If he gets that out and he's like using
I
it for prayer, then like he's
I
terrified.
don't think he brought them, but I kind of think he wishes he had.
Yeah.
But yeah, the flight was very non-eventful. We flew around a bit, and he sort of relaxed over the course of the flight. But then he got, everybody who does their first flight, not everybody, Osama has sea legs, I guess, but
I guess. Yeah.
most people who fly the first time get a little nauseous, and my dad was no exception. So by the time he was over his nervousness, he was into his nausea.
Oh no.
Oh.
So I think he's done flying for now. Um, my mom went on a flight with me, and she was terrified for any turn to the right because that's the side she's on. So every time
Oh.
the airplane's right wing would dip to the right, she would think she would be falling out of the airplane, and she kept grabbing onto random stuff. And at some point, she almost grabbed the thing that opens the door.
Oh no.
So I was like, okay, you gotta stop. You gotta stop doing that because if you do nothing, it's gonna be fine. But if you keep doing what you're doing right now, I can't guarantee it anymore.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow,
so
that's so that's so funny.
That
she
is
went with me
terrifying.
on a second flight, and she was super good on that one. Super relaxed. We picked up an uncle of mine who I played flight simulator with.
In
Uh-huh.
He
midair? Wait, no, I'm kidding.
no, he he's one of my favorite uncles. I've known he's like early 70s right now, I think. Um and he's a really big flight simulator fan. So,
Wow.
I helped build his desktop and like set it up for him and set up flight simulator and got him for his birthday. I got him like a yoke, like one of those flight simulator steering wheels basically.
That's so cool.
And now that I had my license, we've been trying to find a date where we could fly together. And then me and mom were going to take a flight up north where he lives. And we said, well, we can stop at the airfield near you. So he hopped in. We flew around a bit. He controlled the airplane a bit as well. Um, it was a little too crosswindy to have him be involved in takeoff because I'm sure he could have taken off the airplane. He was really, really good on the controls. And obviously, landing, I'm not going to let anybody who doesn't have a license, at least an instructor, and I'm not.
Mhm.
So I did landing, but he was really happy. And then we
I
flew on to a
almost did
little.
landing, if you remember.
Yeah, you also had hands on the controls at some point.
Yeah.
But your landing was more of a like I will press the nose down until we are pointing downwards, and it was not an intended land.
No, you can't say I'm not brave though.
No, I mean, I mean,
Foolish.
He's very
you
brave.
know, when
Too
I said
brave.
like you want to point the nose downwards, I did not mean 90 degrees. I meant like
Like
three
90
degrees.
degrees. Oh.
3 degrees would be good. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Flying, a bunch flying, and then after the flying, yeah, no, actually, that's been mostly it. So tomorrow, I am doing my first really big flight in a very long time, um, and it is a flight from the Netherlands to Munich.
Uh-huh.
And it's the longest flight I've done as pilot in command. So I'm just like on the other screen, as we're recording this, I have like I'm trying to read a German weather forecast, because I want to make sure the weather is good, and then I will stay overnight in Munich, and then fly back the next day with my girlfriend. And that will be my birthday gift because it's my birthday on that. So,
Oh,
Aw,
happy
happy
birthday.
birthday!
mm,
Do you
uh,
dress up for your birthday because of how close it is to Halloween?
we don't really have Halloween over here, so
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting.
yeah.
That's true.
So no, I'm gonna dress
So the
up
answer
as
is
a
yes anyway, right?
yeah. I'm gonna dress up as a scary game developer on Twitter. It's
Oh
my
no.
yeah.
Oh, no.
It's not a very high effort outfit, I will say, but I can pull it off really well. And then beyond that, I've just been, like the way Osama is going to be talking about Overwatch a lot. For me, it's mostly just been Destiny lately. I think whenever my life gets busy, I just fall back into Destiny. Um,
Nothing wrong with that.
Having a really good time. I found a crew of 5 players that have all played Destiny a lot, but never had the team together to play the raids.
Ah.
Mm.
So I'm sherping them through the raids and like telling them about all the game lore and like helping them sort of like set up their build. So we did the Vault of Glass last week or 2 weeks ago. And then this upcoming weekend, we're probably going to do the Deepstone Crypt. And they're just 2 very spectacular, fun raids. So everybody's having a good time. And I love teaching Destiny. Um, that's that's been really, really fun. And then I've
You
been
just
watching lots of TV,
Oh,
surprisingly.
oh
you've
yeah.
been
What have
watching
you been
TV, huh?
watching?
I watch TV. I mean, I watched The Rings of Power,
Uh,
which I really, really enjoyed. I don't know. Have you all watched it?
Not yet.
I
Oh,
haven't
No.
watched it, no.
It's on my list. I'm making my way.
I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, it has pacing issues. It actually has a lot of issues, but like honestly, I just had a good step. The main thing. And then I am at episode 4 of Andor.
That's
A-
great.
Yeah.
Andor is so
Andor is really
so
good.
so good.
Andor is great.
The ending of episode 3, I was just sitting there. I was like, "This is good TV. This is good." You know,
So I'm starting it over because I made the mistake of watching things.
mm,
So like, and I kept getting like good parts, and I'm like, oh man, why am I doing this? So I'm just gonna start over and give it my full. That's
fair
how
enough.
that kind of.
I
It's a
think
way different pace, it feels, than your normal Star Wars thing.
so good though.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I love it.
yeah, I was really done with Star Wars after the Rise of Skywalker. I genuinely have not watched anything Star Wars since then. I didn't watch The Mandalorian. I didn't watch Obi-Wan. I didn't watch. There was another one. Um,
I don't,
Rami, I think you would like The Mandalorian.
People keep telling me that, and I'm Andor felt good to me because it seems like a limited series, right? Like it
Mhm.
seems like it's the episodes and then they wrap it up. I'm not
Yeah,
sure if that's true, but that's how I feel that they promoted it. Well,
yeah.
The Mandalorian at this point it's like 3 seasons, I think.
I think it's
So
two, but there's also
Just
the
two.
Boba Fett
Yeah,
show,
but
yeah,
might be a
which is
third
neat.
coming. They
right.
never confirmed it.
So I'll just wait until that's confirmed, and then if they say yeah, if everybody at that point says, you know what, you should watch it, I'll just watch it back to back.
I
So
mean, like,
I did watch them, but they were like background watching mostly, and I really liked the Mandalorian. But like that kind of the other ones, the Obi-Wan show and whatever, were kind of like background something else shows, and Andor is just better than
And
and give it.
then I think the final thing is I don't know if we managed to catch that. I finished She-Hulk.
Amazing.
She-Hulk
So,
was
what do you think of
great.
the ending?
All right, so here's the thing. I really
Without
think,
spoiling it.
and this is not about the final episode. I genuinely think that the sort of plot twist near the end of the season of sort of like the inciting incident of the final act, that could have used a warning or something,
Mhm.
because for something this lighthearted and funny and sort of like real, that got a little too real for I think a lot of people.
Mhm.
And it was, it's genuine, it's sincere, it's not played for anything but for like the damage it does. But whew, it made it very complicated to sort of recommend the series without
Yeah,
a caveat,
yeah,
which makes me feel like that caveat should have just been part of the series, right?
yeah.
I'm not sure it would have been as impactful in that case, but it's probably also impactful in all the wrong ways. Um, and that was, I don't know. Like I really like She-Hulk. I think it was really well done. But woo,
Yeah.
was not ready for that, and probably should have been ready for that, right?
Right? Like, anyway, I absolutely loved it. I completely understand people who don't. I see it as being extremely polarizing, and I understand that the target audience is not the fans of She-Hulk from the comic, but for the fans of She-Hulk, this is the perfect She-Hulk opinion, or like very close to them. It really got to the essence of who She-Hulk is or was in the comic, or the early She-Hulk. The humor, the breaking of the fourth wall, and all of that. Like, it could not have ended differently. Like,
Yeah,
it's hard to explain what I mean exactly without spoiling, but like the ending that it was ramping up to be before the ending it was cannot it could not have ended with that, and that's why that was the perfect ending
yeah.
for it. It was great. I
I,
absolutely enjoyed it. But
I
if
had
you
a good
don't
time.
like if you don't like the first couple of episodes, then stop. It's not going to convince you. It's more of that, like, and I mean much more of the four.
I like that the show had a lot of surprises along the way. It's kind of like, like every time I thought I figured it out, the show kind of shocked me in a positive way. It'd be like,
Right?
wow, this character, I did not expect to see this character here. Or,
Hmm.
oh, this story arc, I did not expect it to go in that direction. That is
Right.
interesting.
I love that Madison became like an internet folk hero instantly. That was pretty amusing. Did not expect that. Was really funny. No, it was well paced. It was well done. I enjoyed it a lot. I do think it deserves that warning, but beyond that, like if you like fun, lighthearted things, there's no way not to recommend it, except for if you don't want to be punched in the face. Um, and if you're okay with being punched in the face, then it's a good rate. No, yeah. I mean, I feel like Marvel is sort of like getting back up there. Did you also watch the Werewolves by Night special? Either of you?
No.
No.
It is really good. Like it's a 1 hour special, basically. It's like a long episode of a single episode series. It has a start, a middle, and end. Really well told, really fun, like old school horror style, black and white.
Hmm.
Um,
How did I miss this? I haven't even heard.
oh,
Yeah.
it's called Werewolves by Night. It came out several weeks ago. I had such a good time with it.
Okay.
And yeah, can really really recommend that one. And then obviously trailers coming out now for Black Panther and Ant-Man Quantumania, and those are looking really good too. So
Hmm.
yeah, me and my partner are now at we just watched Spider-Man Homecoming,
Ah.
the first Spider-Man. So we're
Mhm.
getting to the end of Phase 3, and I'm really, really excited for it.
Oh, you've gone a long way. You've watched a lot
Yeah,
of Marvel.
We
that's a
watched a lot
lot
of
of
more. I
Marvel.
really enjoy watching how that all came together. Because that like Destiny is 8 years of my life. Marvel is what, like 12 years of my life at this point.
Yeah.
The MCU specifically, like it's fun to just go back and be like, oh my god, when this came out, I was like what 20. It's just interesting.
And there were a lot of changes. There were a lot of like moments in Marvel felt like,
Hmm.
and this, I guess, season, it's never been more different. So I'm very like I feel like Marvel's giving a lot of its more carte blanche, different directions. And it's very interesting how and if they are going to come together. I mean, if you think of, oh no, it's going to spoil a character that She-Hulk. There's one character in She-Hulk who I'm not going to name, whose own show was so tonally different than She-Hulk that seeing that character in She-Hulk was like whiplash. And I'm very curious how and if She-Hulk is going to be merged into the main, continuity, because that's going to be very interesting. It cannot. I say this with being sure of it. It cannot keep its same tone. It's just not compatible with the rest. So I'm very curious how they choose things.
Yeah,
Uh,
like Spider-Man has a lighter tone than I don't know, Doctor Strange,
yes.
but they somehow work together sometimes. I think it's one of the nicer things about Marvel is that how they connect these like wildly different and fun
You
ways.
know, if you can connect like the Guardians of the Galaxy
Mm,
Yeah,
with Captain America,
mhm.
you know you can do some quite impressive stuff. But like, let's be honest, what we've seen this last phase, you know, might as well be different universes. Oh wait,
Yes, it's
oh
really is.
wait. So yeah, I think that's where they're going. Is that we're just gonna find out that a whole bunch of stuff is happening across a much larger space than we thought. That might.
I've
Yeah.
been I've been watching something that is maybe a little bit less mainstream. Not that it's a hipster or anything. It's probably something that not a lot of people heard about.
Hipster.
That's why. Uh, it's a weeb thing actually. I watch an anime. uh, watched an anime called Blue Period.
Okay.
It's a Netflix sponsored show, and I
Mm,
think it's based on a manga series of the same name. So it's one of the things I love about manga and anime is that if anything in life exists, there's an anime or a manga about it. Like
mhm,
football, there's a
mhm,
bunch.
mhm,
Football, American football, taekwondo,
mhm,
boxing, um, mahjong.
mhm.
There's actually a bunch of animes about how to play mahjong really well. There's an anime that I quite like about shogi, and and it's like like you'd think like how do people make playing chess fun? It was like exactly that moment when like the characters holding a piece and then like lifting it in the air and then in the same second everybody's like what, how is he gonna play this piece, and then he places the piece and everybody's in shock, and it's like this whole drama about a person just moving a chess piece forward. That was the anime, and it was a lot of fun for it. Anyway, this anime that I'm watching is not about chess. It's about what's it like to become an artist, and I found that
Okay.
to be very interesting. It's about a high school student that kind of like discovers that he has a talent for art. He's been going to drawing class during high school, but has never really thought about art seriously. He's never thought about going into art for university or anything like that because that's not the kind of career that yields money, or so he thought. Like it's not something that would put food on the table,
Hmm.
and he was like being mindful to his parents who are not like don't do that well, so they can't really afford to put in a private school or anything like that,
Mm,
and going into art school in a public university is very very competitive. You
yep.
have to go through like an entry examination, and like some of the best artists in the country are trying to fight for that spot.
Mm,
And the show I think goes around 12 episodes or less. It's a short show. Basically follows his transformation as he decides to become an artist and what it's like to be an artist, the vulnerability of putting your art out there for you to be judged, and how you're your own worst critic, and and
Uh-huh.
how studying other people's art and looking at art around you makes you a better artist. There is, the regular anime melodrama in it for
mhm,
sure. Like
mhm,
like this is still an anime, so if you don't like anime, you will not like this. But
mhm.
if you can stomach some of that melodramatic stuff, I think there is something interesting. Um, it's rare that I find a show that can put the feelings of being an artist into a video format in that way.
Okay.
Interesting show, worth
I,
having a look.
it feels like there's a lot of overlap with game dev. I'll give you my heads up about that. But yeah, absolutely. Thank you for.
Yeah, thank you. I would love to hear what you think if you ended up watching it. Yeah, it's I think you can watch it with like there's not R-rated or anything about that, so like it should be safe for you to watch it or something like that, or watch it while you're something in the
Yeah.
background kind of thing.
So
Yeah,
I looked it
interesting
up and
show.
I can't find a rating, so I'll take your word on it. I added it to my
Fauzi
list.
says it's
Uh,
halal.
so
Fuzzy approved.
So I just look at so like one of the main like as I googled it, the main question I found is Blue Period inappropriate.
Yeah.
Parents need to know that in Blue Period, an anime series based on the manga comic series in Japan, teens smoke and drink heavily.
Okay, so two of my kids are old enough to watch like Stranger Things, so that's nothing.
Ah, okay, yeah. No, in that
Yeah.
case, no, it
So
should be
maybe not
fine.
my youngest, but the other two are old.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for the heads up. I always
Yeah.
ask that question anyway.
It's an interesting show. Like I said, there is like a lot of like anime tropes that
Mhm.
if that triggers you, this will trigger you.
I
But
love anime. I mean, the thing is, the only reason I slowed down or almost stopped watching is because my wife doesn't like it. So,
yeah,
like, it's not a thing we can watch together,
mm,
and therefore it's harder for me to watch it alone. But I'm a huge fan from
that's
like
cool.
I used to be part of the anime club in college.
Oh wow, we should compare anime notes at some point.
We should, except mine, like I said, is like 20 years old at this point because I haven't really been
most,
keeping up.
most of the best one came out 20 or 30 years ago
Agreed,
anyway.
agreed. Like Grave of the Fireflies is still my favorite anime that I'll never watch again type thing. Right?
That movie is tough.
It broke me. Oh my god. It's so good
Yeah,
and I can't. I
yeah,
have to like mentally prepare myself for weeks.
yeah. I mean, I could talk about my favorite, but I'm not sure if you want to turn this into an anime segment. Uh,
Maybe we'll do a separate anime episode.
yeah, maybe we will. But speaking of anime, I played a very anime video game.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
Since I've been, on the Switch a lot lately, I've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Oh, I heard really
Okay.
good things.
I got a few hours into that, remember?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
remember. I was wondering if you're still playing it.
No, I bounced off.
Yeah.
But it was really weird because it was really good until the point where I bounced off, and then it was just instantly done.
Yeah. It's one of those games I think that yeah, it's that JRPG thing in which that game is it's a long game. It's there's a lot of stuff going on in the story. And yeah, it's I like it a lot, honestly. I don't know what point you got to that made you bounce off, but
Um, let's put it this way: the
mhm.
tutorial is still going at that point,
Yeah.
but it's probably like 10 to 15 hours in. It's sort of when let's put it this way: when the group really gets together.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm getting to that point. I'm not there yet. But like it's a Xenoblade game, so the tutorial might just keep going until the game ends.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
But I think that's the thing that I like about this game series is that like in other JRPGs, like here's the system and then here's 100 hours of you using that one system.
Mm.
And in Xenoblade, there's like here's something new every other hour, which I
Wow.
find to be fascinating. It's a very system heavy game,
yeah.
and there's a lot of like systems, characters, content, like all kinds of stuff constantly being introduced in a way that I really really like. I love the first Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii. For me, that game's a classic. I really enjoyed that. I did not get into X and 2 that much on the Wii
Mm.
U and Switch, respectively. But this one hooked me immediately. Like the world caught me, the story I really liked. The characters I thought were very interesting. I switched the voiceovers immediately to Japanese because I couldn't work with the English VO at all.
Mhm.
Uh, but the English VO, the Japanese VO is superb. I'm enjoying that quite a bit. And I need to say that it's probably one of the best soundtracks I've heard in a long time.
Oh wow.
The
That's high
soundtrack of the
praise.
game is exceptional. It's really, really good. So Xenoblade Chronicles always had good soundtracks. Like the first one, I also thought was a really good soundtrack.
Mhm.
This might be the best in the series
Wow.
from what I'm hearing so far.
Okay. That's really
Gorgeous soundtrack. And this is probably going to be the game that I've been playing like an hour or two every other day for months to come until I finish it. It's
Mhm.
like my back burner game
Uh,
because it's a long game. It's a bit of a commitment, but at the same time, yeah, the art style, the world, the story, and the combat system is addictive to me. I have that thing for grindy JRPGs.
That's awesome. I downloaded the new Call of Duty,
Ah,
but I don't usually play the campaigns. I heard good things about the campaign, so I might make an exception. I don't know, but otherwise, it's just sitting there. I really enjoy the
Wait, so
piece.
Osama, wait, tell me this: what
Yeah,
is available now? Is the campaign or the multiplayer?
it's a campaign that's available, and
I can
if
already play the campaign.
I believe so. People were telling me that they played the campaign. I don't. You know what? I could launch it now and find out for sure.
Oh, because I
no,
want to
you can
play
play
that
the
campaign.
campaign.
I'm a huge Call of Duty fan,
Yeah.
which people who follow me know that I am really upset at Call of Duty frequently,
Yeah.
but also I really like the Call of Duty games. They're just
Mhm.
really well made. So I'm really invested in the new Modern Warfare series.
Mhm.
So I'm I'm waiting to play the campaign. I thought it comes out on the 28th.
It's so funny that we're polar opposites when it comes to that because I'm like, I couldn't really care much about the campaign, but I'm really excited for the player
I
side.
mean, I think that's mostly just how we play. I like the big narrative thing, and you play 1,000 hours of Overwatch.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not like I don't know. It's not like I have a hard rule. It's not like I don't play campaigns of games that I play the multiplayer. Like that's not what it is because I play a lot of single player games and I play a lot of multiplayer games. It's just that the way that, and I'm not trying to like tell you you do things wrong. So sorry if that sounds like what it is. I'm just saying, I've played Call of Duty campaigns before, and it always felt like a slug until you get to these wow moments, and the wow moments are great, but like overall I just not invested or don't care about the character, and I don't like the military backdrop of it all. It's not, that's just not for me.
Right.
I think the
Fair.
only single player military campaign that I've actually like pure military was Spec Ops: The Line for very very obvious reasons, probably if anyone has played it. Otherwise I like some a little bit of sci-fi, a little bit like something
Right.
to shake it up a bit. Like I really like Titanfall 2's single player and its multiplayer, so it's not a hard rule at all.
I really
It's
liked
just
Infinite Warfare.
yeah. Well, in fact, Warfare as a backdrop was amazing. I wish Call of Duty stayed in that.
Right.
That would have been like
I
the perfect evolution.
I like the Modern Warfare series. I also really appreciate that they seem to try to want to do better. So occasionally they kind of do better, but overall they still get it super wrong.
Two
So
steps
I'm
forward,
just
one step back for years.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
like it's still one step forward overall. So
yeah, that's true.
but I'm excited. I'm excited to give it a go. Like I can't wait to just be in the city roller coaster again. And you'll be out of the city roller coaster in 6 hours. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not like I'm going to be stuck with this game forever. I just want to sit down, play it, and go, wow, okay.
yeah.
Um,
I've been
Absolutely. I
seeing a
can't
lot
wait
of
to hear what you
videos
say.
about this online that is set in there's parts that are set in Amsterdam that looks pretty
yeah,
neat.
yeah, but that was also true for one of the earlier games. I don't remember which one, but there was a scene in Amsterdam in an earlier one. This is, I will say, like we don't get to see Amsterdam represented in video games very often. It is a very accurate representation of Amsterdam's feel, even though it's not entirely correct. It's very like convincingly Amsterdam. It does point out that we're really bad at any vehicle that isn't a box with four wheels in
Mm.
games. Because the one thing that made very clear that this isn't real footage is that there's no bikers in that part of Amsterdam. And
Yeah.
let me tell you, there
Yeah.
will never be a time ever that there are no bikers on that street.
Also, there were a lot of bikes, but like a quarter of the bikes that I saw when I went to Amsterdam. So
Right,
there are just not enough bikes overall. I don't mean with people riding them. I mean the parking of the bikes near the water. Those stacked on
right.
top of each other, millions of bikes. That yeah, they had a lot. It was not nearly enough.
No. But I'm just excited to give it a go. So if the
Yeah.
campaign is out now, I'm gonna start that download right now.
Yeah, I'm also looking forward to playing that. It's that time of the year. I have like 5 games I want to play and no time to play anything at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then all of
that's
them
true.
need to be played so I see whether I want to put them on my year lists.
Yeah, because that's coming up super soon. We're gonna have
There
to
we go.
start like, wrapping up our list in about a month, a little bit
Yep.
longer than a month.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's time
this
again.
time, Yarami, are you gonna come with a complete list
I
of
I d-
games?
yeah, and then you're gonna argue and then we're gonna be stuck.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Last year, me and Fawzi came with a prepared list, and you kind of were like, "What do I feel?"
Yeah. Well, I mean,
in typical, like, let's workshop it, Rami
my
fashion.
feelings change very fast.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair.
I can
That's
prepare it, but then it won't be true anymore.
that's fair. Very fair.
No, it's nonsense. I'm just making stuff up to to get away with not preparing.
It's all good. We have more time this time. We have a month and a half. You can start your
Yeah,
list now.
yeah.
But
No,
there are at least like 5 or 6 games that I've had on my list to play this year that I haven't touched yet, or haven't
yeah,
played much or enough of. Like I haven't played Sifu, I haven't played Tunic. All of those seem like they're my cup of tea. So I have a month and a half to play a whole bunch of games, and
yeah,
Overwatch 2 came out at just the wrong time.
yep.
We'll see
So
what
your top
happens.
10 list is gonna be instead of games is going to be characters in Overwatch 2.
It's going to be like number 1 Elden Ring, then characters.
Oh
from
my god, I
Overwatch.
forgot about Elden Ring.
I think for me it's the same. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm now trying to figure out what's coming on my list from number 2 onwards.
Yes,
Right.
pretty
Like,
much.
number 1
Well-
is reserved already.
Yes, pretty much.
Fun news. It's probably not going to make it onto my top 10 list.
What?
Yeah,
No.
I mean, fair. It's okay.
No surprise there, Rami.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but I look forward to once again on my giant bomb list, if we're doing that this year, to once again just copy paste the entire paragraph about Destiny. For the past like 5 years, I've just copy pasted that over every year,
I love it. I love it
and
so
then
much.
just changed a few words.
I love it.
So we're getting there. We're getting there.
You changed
No,
up
I'm
the
excited.
date.
It was a good year for games. Honestly, it had really long droughts.
It did. But
But-
like when I look at the year in review so far, there's a lot going on.
Right? Yeah, it was just all very packed together.
I can tell you, like, look, so like what I have on the list that needs to be ordered and removed and like shortened, I have mini motorways, Pokemon Legend Arceus, Arceus, something.
Yeah, just we'll go with that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Windjammers 2, Dying Light 2, Monster Hunter Arise, Horizon Forgotten West.
Forbidden
Only-
West.
Is it a Forbidden West?
Don't let
You
Julie hear
forgot that it's Forbidden West.
Yes. That's true. Forgotten West.
I love it.
Only,
I mean,
only
that
world.
game always gets forgotten for awards, though. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is like the second time this happened. The first time when they did Zero Dawn, it came out 2 days before Zelda,
Yeah.
and then
And
this time it came out 2 days before.
2 days
Elden Ring.
before Elden Ring.
So I feel bad for them, but I don't think their chances for awards are very high this year.
No.
Yeah. I have a short list that I've made ready.
I'm
and I
not
have
halfway through. Mine
Yeah.
still. So.
Okay, let's keep it for the episode, okay?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Instead of getting all of it out there, if you want to do the episode now, okay. But like, don't we
Let's
still have
do it.
God of War coming? And like,
We,
stuff
we
like
got
that?
we got time. We got time. We can Well, there's still more time. There's games.
I've heard
to
about
play.
this Mario game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear
Play
good
that.
things.
Yeah, I've heard some good stuff.
Yeah.
That can't be on my list, luckily. So
Yeah, I know. Like you have to recuse yourself from that, but me and Rami don't.
Ah.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you want to put it up on the list, I'm not gonna fight you.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
There's Monkey
Good.
Island.
Oh
There's so
yeah,
mu-
Monkey
there's-
Island. Oh my
There's
god,
so many
haven't
good
played
stuff.
that was
The-
good. That was
Mario
very good.
Mario Strikers. Kirby
I
was
did
this
not
year.
love
Remember that one?
Strikers.
Oh, you did not. Because
We will keep this. You know what? We're just gonna wrap this up.
Yeah.
We're just gonna wrap this episode up, and we're gonna keep this for a later
Because otherwise
episode.
we're gonna like argue for another hour, right?
But it's so much
Exactly,
fun
and we
to
are-
do so.
Yeah, and we're gonna keep it for a full episode, so people can
Yes.
enjoy it without us having to go like, okay, yellow, like let's have the time to talk.
Okay, fine.
Very
Thank you.
excited for the 7-hour episode when it comes out.
Rami, you're being a good host.
Yes.
I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
trying to make sure that we all can go to our next important thing of the day.
That's true. I'm not being a good co-host.
Oh, you're
But
being
you
a
are.
very good co-host. You're just filling this with content.
love it.
That good content. Oh wait, Osama's the content person.
He's
now,
the
right?
senior
Yeah,
content guy.
Yeah, you're the
No,
senior
I'm gonna be
content.
activities and missions. Leave me alone.
No, you said I'm pretty sure you're content.
Don't look at my LinkedIn.
Can you, Osama? Can you
Activities
do
like
a little bit more content?
sandcastles.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Oh no, what have I done?
We need like one more minute of content so we can wrap up, Osama.
A minute? How,
1 minute.
how do I fill that air? I don't know.
Literally, you're the senior here. Fawzi and I, we don't know this stuff.
No, okay. I could sing. Do you want me to sing?
Yes, please.
Ooh,
Okay,
yes,
so
please.
you have to fight over which song I sing, and it has to be a song I know, and I'm not giving you hits.
All right. The final countdown.
Easy. Wow.
I only know the chorus for that.
That's perfect. I want that part, please.
It's the final countdown. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. The final countdown.
Okay, and with that, that's the end of the episode. That was the final countdown. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. I made Osama do a good segue. That's nice.
Wow, Sam, I am in awe.
All
This
right, we
was
got to do
incredible.
karaoke together someday.
This is gonna be
Yeah,
great.
we do.
We say salam. How do we end this?
I don't even know what to do anyway. Anyway, thanks
All
so
right.
much for listening in. This was another episode of the Habibis. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to subscribe. Go to our Discord, discord.thehabibis.com. If you have emails where you want to compliment Osama for his singing, please do so. info@thehabibis.com. Thanks so much for listening in. See you next episode. And for now, salam.
Salam.
That was the Habibis podcast for this week. I was Rami Ismail, your host for this episode. You can find me on Twitter at @THA_Rami. My fellow Habibis were Osama Dorias, who you can find on Twitter at Osama Dorias, and Fawzi Mesmar, who you can find on Twitter at Fawzi Mesmar. Send us your questions, stories, and suggestions via info@thehabibis.com. The intro and outro music was provided by Malik Zubaila, and the logo was provided by Ibrahim Hamdi. The Habibis is a weekly podcast about 3 game developers drinking good Arab tea, with new episodes launching every Friday, inshallah. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcasting service or check out thehabibis.com for more information. Thank you for listening, and salam.